Feast of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary has been celebrated since the 6th century. At that time, there was a basilica erected over the place where they believed that Anna lived, her mother. There's nothing in the New Testament that's written about the birth of Mary, but from the Proto-Evangelium of James, a gospel that did not get into the canon list of gospels, there's a story of her birth. It's not historical in itself, but it just gives us an insight into the devotion that was developing in the early church. It states in there that Anna and Joachim were barren, and they were both elderly, but that they had prayed for a child. And of course, the Blessed Mother was born to them. And it goes on to say that she was to be the mother of the Savior. In the reading that we read, the long genealogy of Jesus, it goes back to Abraham, the promise made to Abraham that he would be the father of many nations, that he would lead the people to the promised land, which we know now is heaven. That promise made by God goes through all these generations, and it was a very human development. One of the women here was a prostitute, the other one was the adulterous lover of King David. And so we see that even in Jesus' genealogy, there was very human things that happened. He came up just like we do. And of course, all the way to the conception of Mary, they came up with September 8th for her birthday. The Byzantine church came up with it because September 8th is 9 months after December 8th, which is the feast of the Immaculate Conception of Mary in the womb of her mother. And so it's how we came up with the date of September 8th. The Feast of Mary reminds us that she was to be the mother of God, and that God was unfolding his plan of salvation. And the Feast of the Birthday of Mary gives us all great hope every year, because with her birth came the hope of salvation from her son Jesus. And that hope comes from celebrating her birthday, because she accepted God's will to bring Christ into the world. Whenever two parents, in their love for each other, conceive a child, cooperating with God in his creation, they have great hopes for that child. Children are born into a world that's full of troubles. Those beautiful young babies give us hope that maybe they'll grow up and be the ones to solve a lot of the world's problems and the church's problems. And so it gives us a lot of hope. When we celebrate the birthday of Mary, we're reminded that the love of God and the hope that comes through her is so very important to us. So it's celebrating the birthday of our mother in heaven. Jesus gave her to be our mother from the cross. And we see how Mary's total obedience to God, her trust in him, even through the difficulties of her life, led to the joy of the Assumption, where she was assumed body and soul into heaven. So it's a great feast, celebrating Mary, our mother, her birthday today. I bet there's a lot of rejoicing in heaven tonight over Mary's birthday. And we thank God for her and for her intercession for us. How many times a day do we all say the Hail Mary? And Mary hears our prayers, and she hears us and offers our needs to God. So it's good that we're here tonight, and once again we will receive the body and blood of her Son. Because of Mary's willingness, we have the body and blood of Christ at this Mass, so that we can literally touch him. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.